Phuket Ratchapat University, Assistant Professor Dr. Prabha Kayi, to please come to the front of the stage to present the certificates to our speakers. In front of the stage, please. Thank you very much. So I'd first like to invite our keynote speaker, Dr. Yasuo Ohe, to please receive a certificate of appreciation. Thank you. I'd next like to invite the representatives of the local communities, starting with the community leader for Rawai. Thank you. The next representative is the community leader for Cheung Thale. Thank you. I would now like to invite the community leader for Phuket Old Town. Thank you. And the community leader for Mai Khao. Thank you very much. I would now like to invite our ASEAN representatives to also receive certificates. For the ASEAN portion, I would like to invite the representatives by country, so please all or both of your representatives, please come up to the front of the stage, starting with Brunei Darussalam. Thank you very much. I would like to invite the representative from Cambodia. Thank you. And our representatives from Indonesia. Thank you. I would like to invite our representatives from Lao PDR. Oh. Thank you. And our representative from Malaysia. Thank you. I would now like to invite our representatives from Myanmar. Thank you. And our representative from the Philippines. I would now like to invite our representative from Singapore. Thank you. And our representatives from Thailand. Thank you. And last but not least, I would like to invite our representatives from Vietnam. Thank you very much. I would like to ask our president to please remain in front of the stage, and I would like to ask all of our speakers to please come to the front of the stage for a group picture. ขอเชิญตัวแทนชุมชนด้วยค่ะเอาข้างบนโอเคนะใช่เอาใครขึ้นอีกไหมคะบอกได้เลย Could we have a few people on stage? Thank you. Smile. Everybody say community. Thank you very much. You will be able to find all of these pictures on the PCBT website after the conference. Thank you. The next part of our program is a roundtable seminar with representatives from all 10 ASEAN countries. So I would like to invite, please, the representative from each of the ASEAN countries to please come to the stage. And I would like to invite the Acting Dean of Phuket College of International Tourism, Assistant Professor Dr. Aratai Krutwesho, to please act as the moderator for this session. So,
Up, please. No? No one hear me so far. Hello?
please give a thumbs up when you can hear
Can you
clearly.
can you hear my voice? Give me a thumbs up, please. Thank you. Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
morning, everyone. On behalf of Phuket College of International Tourism and Phuket Ratchapat University, I am Oratai Kutwesho. I am an acting dean of this International Tourism College. And welcome to these very last sessions, but not least session, very last sessions of this morning seminar sessions in the PCBT 2017. And this is going to be a roundtable discussion, and the purpose of this roundtable discussion would be basically to find the best practice of the CBT development in the country and among the ASEAN country members. And the second is to create possible networking among us or among our country members as well. So basically, I'm going to raise two questions to each of you, each of representative from the ASEAN members. Okay. So I think we have distributed the microphones. I think we have 3 to 4 now. So basically, I would raise the first question to your best knowledge and to your experience. What would be the best, practical conduct or the best practice of community-based development? So I would start on my left-hand side from the far corners, and this is a representative from Malaysia, please.
Good morning. Hello. Yes. I think what I've gathered so far is that community-based tourism cannot survive without government support. Like from Vietnam, she mentioned, is that actually low capability of the local community makes it very hard for them to market however nice the culture, however nice the nature is actually. So it's actually through private sector like us. We go there, we take picture of how nice it is, we try to push it out, but community members must benefit, like she mentioned also, is like 6 to 20%. It's actually a pretty small number comparatively, but it's actually a bonus to them if you don't mind me saying actually. If you just have farming, but you don't have tourism, it doesn't help you much to develop the place or to make you treasure what you have actually. Only when tourists come there and say, whoa, this is very nice, maybe only then will the local people try to work harder. If they see a little bit of profit, maybe they'll just work a bit more just to make it worthwhile for themselves. Thank you.
Thank you. So again, the best practice or the in terms of the code of conduct for community-based tourism development in your area or in your expertise. Thank you.
Thank you very much. For Vietnamese context, as I mentioned before, we do agree with our partners. Is the government sponsor is played important role, and the most important thing, another important thing is empower the capability of the local community. And in order to do that, I think we have to receive the government sponsor also, and also we have to strengthen the network among the ASEAN countries in order to share the experience, to learn each other, and how to improve the capability of the local community for the best future. Thank you.
So more networking, and I would like to invite the representative from Thailand, Dasta, please.
สวัสดีค่ะ On behalf of DASTA, it's a public organization. We try to develop CBT, and we are training and educating local people, a group of local people. At present, we have the model of CBT for sustainable development, tourism development for 14 communities. And this community will be distribute their knowledge and experiences to other communities in Thailand. And we also work with our networking, because in each region they have communities. They work together in like an association at regional level. And so we work with at regional level as well, in order to make empowerment of community from local level to regional level, and finally at national level. We hope that this our dream, it will be our dream, the community-based tourism will be we will have a representative from community-based tourism from the communities around Thailand at the national level in order to establish the policy and planning in terms of development and marketing together with the government.
Thank you.
So-
And the representative from
So,
the Philippines.
from the Philippines. CBT in the Philippines started a long time ago, and we have a lot of problems. So my suggestion, based on my experience, CBT is bottoms-up strategy. So we empower the local people actually, but we need the support of the government. But the problem here is, if the CBT becomes what is this? Okay, for example, if you get a lot of tourists, the tour operators will overpower the local community. Then CBT will disappear. Okay, so and the government cannot help the CBT 100% because CBT does not pay taxes. The income goes to the local community. So the government helps the tour operator or tour agency more than the CBT. So in our case in the Philippines, instead of attracting tourists to go to CBT, we use the university or education institution. That's my presentation yesterday. We use the education institution to and take them to CBT areas. With this case, for example, I took the first year students this term. Then next term, I will take another group of students. So CBT becomes sustainable. You don't take the same group of people in one place only. I take different kinds of group, different major of students to one place. That will become CBT will become sustainable. Okay? The problem in the Philippines is they have project, but it's not sustainable. Okay? And most of the members of the community, another problem is educated. For example, if I'm a retired teacher or retired soldier, I will not participate in CBT. So most of the members of the community are not participative. So we need the help of the government, local government, to educate the community to become more successful. Thank you.
Thank you. So more keywords on empowerment and also support from local government.
That's right.
And next, please, the representative from Singapore.
Yes, I think until now you haven't seen me mention the words or the letter CBT. And that's because Singapore is in a different stage right now. We look at CBT like tourism, actually. It's not a single box by itself. Tourism should always empower the locals, because at the end of the day, who are the ones staying in your land? So, with that aspect, we look at it more holistically. We try to pull in all areas that are affected, not just economy, conservation, or preservation of heritage, for example. Singapore has Chinese, Malays, Indians, Eurasians, many people from different races. And what we try to do is, when we do community-based tourism, we represent the communities in a way that is distinctive of its unique flavor. For example, when we preserve a place, we preserve entire area around it, not just one building. Like, for example, there's this place called Kampong Glam. I think it's featured on the poster. And it's this very unique Arab kind of flavor. So with that, this is what Singapore tries to do. When we present ourselves, we show the different facets. And then more importantly, we need to document everything very carefully. You know, we create this thing that we can always look back into and research into and pass on this knowledge and information. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's very holistic views from the Singapore representative. And now I shall move on with the Myanmar representative, please.
According to my experience, we have to aware on the, I have to point out trustworthy among the involved party, trustworthy among the stakeholder. There are 4 major important parties to implement community-based tourism, public and NGO and local communities. So we need to build our trustworthy, and we need to deeply cooperation and cooperation among these most major important parties to implement the CBD systematically. And then I need to find out one important thing. Local communities are now focusing on the CBD because they can get extra money and extra income from the CBD, but we need to aware on the CBD cannot sustainable. We need to choose CBD destination relying on the main destination, because local community cannot promote and cannot get the market segment from the international tourism industry without they have the unique tourism resources. We need to aware, and then to be sustainable CBD size, both because most 90% of the CBD site around the world this year beyond the project periods. So who will take this responsibility beyond the project of the CBD initiative? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. So more focus on the linkage between community-based tourism and major destinations in terms of the marketing and communication. And I would like to pass on my very same questions on the best practice or best common practices on community-based tourism developments to the representative from Laos. Sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. I got these opportunities to share with my ASEAN friends and also for students. This is my experience that what's happened in Laos and what we do at the moment. Okay. So I think just only my idea, now the CBT is very important and share to all the communities. It's not just only in Laos, but other countries as well. So we are going to be a new product of the CBT in ASEAN. So what we do in Laos, normally the government, they already set up for us. What do we do in the 5 years, 10 years, the future, just for the CBT? And where we get the money from, that's supported by the ADB, the NGO, something like that. Go directly to the communities, but except by the government. So we have training, we have marketing, we have, lots of things to help the communities. Yeah. So that's my experience in Laos. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your view. So a lot of stakeholders, involvement from public and private and NGO organizations. Thank you. So I'd like to pass on the same question to representative from Indonesia, please.
Thank you for the question about the best practice and the future collaboration possibilities. best practice of CBT, I would like to give an example of Bali tourism in the eastern part of Indonesia. Bali, as an island of tourism, the local government has local law regulation to regulate association of local tourism. In this context, for example, we have DASTA in Phuket under the Ministry of Tourism. The regulation is the tour guide, for example, in Rawai Island or in another Kamala, for example. So in a certain community, they must be responsible for their tour organization package. So visitors coming from other countries, they cannot bring their own guide. So that's the case in Bali. So the tour guide will be from Rawai Island, for example, from Kamala community, for example, and it must be regulated by local regulation. The positive thing from this best practice in Bali is, even though Bali there are many visitors, international visitors from other parts of Indonesia, other travel agents, when they come to Bali, they cannot bring their own guide. They must use local guide. So in the context of CBT, I think it will be better. I do not know whether DASTA has the program already, but the problem in the context of CBT in other country is about the language issue. If the tourism business is happening in the big city, like in the Phuket town, for example, that's not a problem because many people in the big city, in a city, they can speak English. And also, maybe they can speak another language. The problem in CBT, in the village, in the community, and sometimes in Indonesia too, and maybe the problem happening in CBT Phuket, some of our partners, they speak only local language. For example, in Indonesian context, some villagers, some CBT organizers, they only speak local language. Or maybe they speak English but not so fluent. It is better in the context of ASEAN community, in this discussion, the government, local government, in the context of DASTA here, provide foreign language training, especially ASEAN language training. I'm not trying to promote Indonesian language now, but the fact is Indonesia has 250 million people. And they go to Philippines, they go to Vietnam, they go to Brunei. If Brunei and Malaysia, that's no problem because we share a little bit a common language, Malay. Malay in Indonesia are not really different. But when we try to communicate with people from CBT in Phuket and Vietnam, from Laos, for example, we cannot speak Thai, we cannot speak Vietnamese and Philippines. We cannot speak the language. And the same when, that's the problem. So the potential program that can be conducted together is DASTA can probably propose a program to the governor, Phuket governor, to provide local language training. For example, Tagalog. For example, Indonesian language. For example, Vietnamese language or Myanmar language or the other languages, so that the visitors coming to Phuket and goes to the CBT, local community, will increase because we share the language. So that through this process, the CBT tour guide, for example, in our team here, we have 7 communities here. If, for example, they can speak Tagalog or speak Indonesian, then it is much more easier. Because many Indonesian people would like to go to Thailand, but they know only about Bangkok. Little know about Phuket. So that's number 1. So language training, local language training is so important. And to provide the local language training, there is Phuket Ratchapat University. And Phuket Ratchapat University have Faculty of Education, have Thai language department. We can invite teacher from Phuket Ratchapat to teach Thai language in Indonesia, for example, to local CBD, so that when our CBD ready to open, to accept visitors from Thailand, from Philippines, the CBD actors, they know already about Thai language and culture, and it will increase the number of visitors. So that's the number 1 possibility. Number 2 is about network. We are now coming from different...
Yeah, excuse me.
Yes.
Would it be better to leave the answer of the second question later?
Oh, okay.
Can
Okay.
we just, now I like to focus on the best common practice.
Okay, thank you.
Of,
Yes.
Of each of the representative expertise and experience.
Okay, so I think that's all the best practice. So regulation from local government to regulate from the association of tour guides, so that they have the capacity to speak the ASEAN languages.
Thank you. That's
okay,
very
thank you.
interesting issue, because the regulation could also alleviate the issues of the problems when we're talking about internationalizations, and also the issues of the foreign people coming and work in local areas. So I'd like to move on the opinions. I'd like to move on to listen to the opinions of the representative from Cambodia on the best common practice of community-based tourism development, please.
Thank you. For my part, the best practice of CBT, based on my perspective, you need a well master plan first, and I agree with our all Asian member that it needs to get and involve from all sides, all parties. First, the government, it's really important, play an important role, set up policy, and then the local governor to implement, and as well NGO to support, and then the local community, because we need all sides to put the hand in order to move the sustainable tourism, and also to keep CBT for long times, not for a short time. So first, the master plan, a clear master plan. What is the first action we need to do, and then the involvement between all their parts need to put the hand in order to set up a clear goal, what we gonna achieve, what to help the CBT to, especially like I agree with Dr. Ohe yesterday mentioned about the money management, the income, how we gonna do with that, how to keep CBT develop for the future, not for now. I think that's my idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So more keywords on all stakeholders' involvements and also clear master plan on community-based tourism. And I'm going to move to the last representative from Brunei, please. Your best practice or best common practice for CBT development.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah for my Muslim friend, and good morning for our Asian friend. Always the last person during whatever seminar it is, everything will be put up in one basket. I just put my business card in the basket because I'm the last one. Nothing much I can say. Okay, anyway, in Brunei, we don't have so much problem in Brunei. As you know, Brunei is a small country with a small population. Then we were sold by the East Ministry. So the CBT activities is not so much problem in Brunei, and we are always be cooperated. And let me share, I'm using 3 heads. First, I'm the members of District Consultative Council. I'm also the Vice President of Youth Movement, and lastly, I'm a businessman. So I'm combined the 3 factors where we can put in a CBT. Okay, as a member of District Consultative Council, I already in my district we have our CBT activities all year round. Okay? We have a product, we have a community service, we have a voluntary service, and also of that we are activity been done in our district, and similar to other districts. So we have a 4 districts. So in Brunei, we are almost incorporated everybody. So because we are very short, very near, so communication is not such a problem. Okay? And when I talk as a Vice President of Youth Movement, so we are always using a youth as a voluntary to participate in the CBT. So and the youth, say in Brunei, they are more willingly to help the community. Because we are, as I said, we are a small community, we are like a family, so it's not much a problem in doing things in Brunei, especially when the Brunei government, its ministry itself, is involved or give us a lot of opportunity, a lot of grant that to be tapped. This is depend on how we want to tap whatever the government is providing. And lastly, when I look as a businessman, there's a lot of opportunity that we can help the CBT to explore the product outside Brunei. Okay? And recently, the government put up one agency, you call it Darussalam Enterprises, where this body is helping the business, the SME business, and including CBT business. So in Brunei, we don't have so much problem in that, but we really having a problem of what it can be. Everybody been share now. A common problem is our network and marketing. So in Brunei, the CBT is very timorously done well, and we hope we would like to learn more from our Asian country, because Brunei start developing the way of other countries is doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So all the participants could have a clearer views now of all the available options. What could be the best practice or the best common practice in terms of developing community-based tourism in your area or even in Phuket. Okay, so I'm just going to summarize the key words that I've heard from all of the views, all the valuable views here. So we have networking, capacity buildings, empowerment, local government support. Also, maybe we can move away from looking things in detail, but having a look at the holistic views of tourism industry developments in terms of sustainable approach. And also we have the linkage to the marketings and communications, and also the maybe local regulations that would crack down on the what we would call improper actions that taking place in tourism industry at the moment. So I'm going to move on to the final questions. And this final question, I'm going to swap things around. So you used to be the last one, so now I'm going to put you in the first one, the very first one, okay? And my questions is, my second and very last question for this session is again on the best option of how could we achieve the cooperation or collaboration among the ASEAN countries in terms of helping each other to develop community-based tourism. Yes, please.
Thank you very much. After 2 days of having our conference and my observation for 2 days, I think we have a common issue. Every country representative, they come up with a common issue. That is a network. And just now I've been during we have a tea break just now, I've just been getting around and telling where do we go after this? We to be left this and bye-bye, or we back home and think about whether we want put more our way where we go after this. Okay. For my opinion, I can see that we are coming here as an individual representative. We not coming as a team, as a whatever it is, because everybody come here with a common issue, telling to promote their product, telling to tell what they have. So what I'm thinking now, we should have, whether it's a network body or we have forming maybe something like, as what I said here, formation of community-based network. So we have put up some, whatever it is, with some memorandum, whatever it is, where we have to continue helping each other. For example, we are a small country, Brunei, maybe we have to learn more from Phuket. Or maybe Vietnam, we learn more from Philippines. So with this networking, with this information, we can have maybe at least once a year for a meeting where we can say, okay, what is our progress, So this is what I'm thinking from the first place, the first day I come, then I noticed that we have a very common issue, and we have also we want to have our community benefits. Where yesterday I was questioned, what is the PPCP mean for? Because in Brunei we have PPSP, public-private social partnership. So the social mean is the CBT. So we want any development in Brunei could be involved by our community, because the benefit not only for the private sector, like me as private sector, but this time we want whatever benefit in Brunei contribute to the community. So they have a share of the revenue or whatever benefit in the country. So I would like to suggest that we have a promotion of the network, and also we have to more deliver on what is the mean by PPCP or PPSP. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the same question goes to Cambodia, please.
Yeah. Thank you. Refer to the second question. Based on my opinion, I think we are facing, like he said, we are facing the same problem within ASEAN to develop the CBT. So refer to my first answer, we need the collaboration between all the Asian members. We need to raise the strength and the weakness we need to study from each other what is the strong point. From which country we need to sit and talk to each other more often so that we can learn from each other and what is the best way to move to set up a network from among the Asian members to achieve the development between all Asian members to develop CBT.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And again, the same question goes to the representative from Indonesia. The best option to achieve the collaboration work for community-based tourism among ASEAN countries.
Thank you. Number one is, in my opinion, we create a social media network that connect all speakers or invitees who come to this conference. Maybe we can create a Facebook or a group line or whatever group social media among the presenters coming from different countries. And after that, everyone can join and can promote those social media so that we can keep in touch each other. So, and then number two, I'm not aware whether there is an association of ASEAN CBT network yet or not. If there is no that kind of association of ASEAN CBT network, then from the embryo of Facebook group, then we can discuss it further to discuss about the establishment of the ASEAN CBT network. And if the concluding discussion is to create that kind of network, maybe we can offer where we can do that, whether in Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, or Brunei, or in Thailand again. But if the groups agree to be hosted in Indonesia, then we will be ready to be the host of the next ASEAN CBT gathering network. Of course, this is under collaboration between CBT and then maybe universities and then government, so that it is more powerful. And then so exchange contact, create a social Facebook account, and then make it formal as Association of ASEAN CBT Network. The next one is to create an MOU. Why MOU is important? Because under university, we cannot do something if there is no formal legalization, I mean, memorandum of understanding. Like what I am doing right now, I have consulted to the Dr. Orotai and the DASTA that from Indonesia, from CBT of Batu, we would like to do an MOU after this with the 3 local CBT to make it happen, so that this year we can do the action, not just the what we call concept.
Yeah.
And then if also possible, during the ASEAN CBT network gathering or meeting, something like that, we can do also the MOU. And not just MOU, because MOU without action is nothing, right? So what we can do is share the package. We have the package in Indonesia, and then we sell the package to the other countries. And we want your package. We want tour package from Phuket, but it would be better if it is translated into Indonesian language. For example, now I and my team from CBT Indonesia, Malang, we want to know the information about the options of available CBT in Phuket, but it is in English. Of course, English is international language, but it is much more easier and powerful if it is translated into local languages, Indonesian languages, or ASEAN languages. So after this, I hope I can get the information about the tour package from each country that can be offered to Indonesian students, of course, with the competitive price. Because that's the powerful, what we call, weapon to invite more visitors. We want to bring more Indonesian people to come here. And of course, we need English information is better, but if we can translate it into Indonesian language, it's much, much more better. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So the best option, please, for the cooperation among the ASEAN members. From Laos representative, yes.
Okay, so once again, I mean, we have to development the CBT for ASEAN. I mean, all the products, all in ASEAN also, CBT also the same, like homestay, something like that. But we have to, like, all the ASEAN, we have to, like, specific what you want to promote for, okay? So that's the first one, just a question. And the second one, I mean, it's not the best, the CBT, but like a loud tourism. Just a few people know about Vang Vieng Luang Prabang. So very ASEAN, I mean, we have to more close to each other. Yeah. Thank you very much.
So we need information sharing as well among the countries. Yes, please, representative from Myanmar.
Each ASEAN country have their own opinions and their own ideas to collaborate among the ASEAN country. I would like to point out the two things. One, we have drawn up the ASEAN Tourism Strategy Plan 2050 and 2020, and we are now reviewing to promulgate to draw the new ASEAN Tourism Strategy Plan. There are in this strategy plan there are route among the ASEAN country crossing the border. So we can put our CBD site on this route to attract the ASEAN country and to collaborate the ASEAN country. So we can put our CBD site on this route. That's first one. So for the second one is for marketing, branding, and promotion. So local community cannot afford to promote and cannot attract the international tourists. So according to the ASEAN Economic Cooperation Program, every ASEAN country hosts ASEAN Tourism Forum every year. This forum includes two packages, conference and exhibition. At the exhibition, each country hosts this ASEAN Tourism Forum every year. At this exhibition, we can give a space for, we can give the space, we can give the booth or exhibition booth for ASEAN CBD product to promote, to make a branding and marketing to attract the international tourists and international traveler. Because ASEAN Tourism Forum is most popular forum among the tourism industry. Most of the European tour company they join this tourism forum. So every year, every country we should provide any space for the ASEAN CBD exhibition booth and ASEAN exhibition.
Okay, thank you very much. This is what we are doing now for the conference and the exhibition at the moment for the CBT itself. It won't be the last one, it's the first one, and we're looking at the following up conference. So I already passed around my microphone to the representative of Singapore. And the best option, please.
Well, personally, I'm a big fan of technology. And from what I can observe, we are just beginning a new phase of revolution. You see, last time we always think that, oh, internet will change everything. But laying cables are expensive. Now we managed to overcome that problem with telecom. Handphones. Handphones are becoming a basic need. And so when people get access to this information outside, they very quickly know what's going on outside in the world, and they very quickly adapt to it. So if we not only teach them how to embrace this technology, also teach them how to market in a way where it's more consolidated through our efforts, how to not also just have competition amongst ourselves, but be more united in presenting an ASEAN picture to the world. I think technology will help that a lot.
Yeah. And we could start from the Facebook's option that he just raised up. And the views from representative from the Philippines, please.
Yes, whenever I speak about CBT, I always integrate that with education because I'm a teacher. I'm a university-based community developer. Okay, what is CBT? Actually, CBT is a small classroom in the community. The participants in the CBT or the community teaches the visitors about their culture, about their language, how they cook, how they, the way of their life. The community becomes teachers. The members of the community becomes teachers. So if you ask me what is the best option to develop the CBT community-based tourism, I strongly suggest that we integrate CBT into curriculum in the university. Curriculum in basic education. In my experience in the Philippines, if we involve the government, this is a small scale. This is a small scale project. The government with a very big plan will not focus on small projects. Okay? They will let the private sectors do that. And if you contact private sector, 80% of the income will go to the private sector, then 20%, according to the Vietnamese, will go to the community. So there's a big difference. For example, I'll give you an example, Phuket. There are only 7. There are only 7 CBTs. Myanmar presented their CBTs, and those CBTs are actually mass tourism that is sponsored by the government. That's not small projects. Those are big projects. Now, so we realize that if we start with if we integrate CBT in the curriculum, we can use the university to promote CBT. I'll give you an example. For the 7 areas in Phuket, have you ever had university students visitors?
I would say yes, a lot.
Okay, very good. So they already started. Actually, I told you yesterday that Thailand has better program than the Philippines in case of CBT. Because in some communities, CBT expect only for international travelers. We didn't focus on local tourists. So our Thai students here in Phuket, have they gone to Mejo to learn the way of life there? My students in Bangkok don't actually know about people in the south. My students in Phuket, my students in Isan, they never been to Phuket. They want to go, but there is no network. So we try to integrate this in our tourism, College of Tourism. Then CBT is not just a lecture. CBT is a practical subject. You have to go out. You have to organize your own tour. You don't have to contact the tour company. Organize your own tour. The Faculty of Tourism becomes the travel agency. So they take the students to CBT, they learn. A lot of my students from Isan, they want to go to the south to see the beaches. They don't see, there are no beaches in Isan. They want to go to Mejo, Mahasarakam, how to weave the Thai cloth there. They want to learn. So, for example, if my students go to your CBT, the community will become learning based. So the community members actually learn little by little from my students. So if you have a perfect program, now we can take university students from Singapore to your CBT. They don't have to contact the travel agency. The Faculty of Tourism becomes the travel agency for the international travelers or international students. Now, Faculty of Tourism at Rangsit University has travel agency inside the university, and they have their own airlines, RSU airline. So RSU airline fly from Bangkok to China. So that start the actually community-based tourism. So that is my strongly suggest that we include this CBT in our curriculum. The Indonesian suggested that we should have a network. We have already a network of 77 universities around ASEAN. So we take students to different countries in ASEAN, and actually they don't go to the university. The university is just a travel agency. These universities take my students to their CBT. They take this to the community, then learn from the students, learn from the community. Then after that, we have a dialogue like this. Then we ask the students, what did you learn? How many Bahasa Indonesian words did you learn? Why? Why do we ask this? How many Vietnamese words did you learn? Because we force them to learn the language of other countries, not just English. Okay?
Yes.
So we already have the 77 network that is already moving students around ASEAN. So the participation of the university, not only the government, the university has actually more power to initiate this project, because like what I said, CBT is just a small project. Phuket is a big town, you have only 7 CBT.
As a pilot.
That's
there
right,
will be
as
more.
a pilot. So in the Philippines, we already have a pilot programs. And I told you, it's not successful. That's why I shifted to University ASEAN Network.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the emphasis on the education hub of tourism industry and tourism developments. And carry on with the representative from Thailand, please.
First of all, I would like to thank Rajapat University. You have already built a network between ASEAN countries already in terms of private sector, universities, and also NTOs. Yeah. And now we work together. And this is the first platform that we have to continue this network. But we are how to continue this platform because we are from other countries. I agree we need to have online platform as well in order to learn each other, to learn how each country develop community-based tourism development and marketing. This is a platform of our country. We work together, and I'm sure that today or yesterday we have a networking between university with tour operators from Thailand, and this is a mutual cooperation. Yes. And for formal, but anyway, I would like to ask or invite your network to join this platform as well in order to expand our networking. And in other terms, in official networking, so we have committee of Asian countries in terms of community-based tourism. At present, they try to develop a standard of CBT in order to ensure that our CBT can conserve our uniqueness, identity, and also get benefits from tourism continuously and fairly. So this official structure will help us to have the common standard of CBT in terms of service, and to make sure that when a tourist or visitor come to our place, they will satisfy. And perhaps in the future, we may have the like a standard of Asian countries. We have a branding of CBT. We can make our marketing together in order to invite our targeted market, because not all market to love, to enjoy, would like to experience local experience or CBT. So this is, I think, is a new initiative of our networking together. Okay.
Thank you. So DASTA is here, so I'm sure that the network will be fruitful and flourish. And next, please, the representative from Vietnam.
Thank you. I'm from university. So from the university point of view, I think there are two activities we can think about for the strengthen the collaboration among the ASEAN countries. The first one is the teaching, and the second one is the researching. In terms of teaching, I do agree with the professor from Philippines. If we have the common subject in terms of CBT, we should send our students to another country and then get the credit. Is a very good idea, I think so. And in terms of researching, we can propose the research among the many involved countries to research the comparative case study in order to we can learn each other. We can understand how the best practice, how the failure, how the successful, and then we can learn each other.
Yeah. Thank you. More emphasis on the power of education. Yes, and the last one, but not the least one, okay? Right. Representative from Malaysia, please.
Hello. Good. I'm going to summarize because everyone says network, because collaboration doesn't work without a network. I'm from private sector. I believe that it's great to have policymakers, it's great to have universities together, but if no one markets for you, if no one goes there and say, oh, this place is great, here's some picture, please promote for me, it's very difficult. I understand that tourism is sometimes a dirty word because they come to a place, they destroy it, and they go away. CBT is different, whereby if you bring tourists, the local people cherish it, they'll look after it themselves, and you can grow from there. So I believe that the network allows each community to learn from each other, not just because someone comes to your village and tell you you can do this. You can pick from 10 stories, pick one that works for you, and go from there. Like for us, we actually picked up something from Paddy. We do lots of conservation on the ocean because we believe that that works for us. And we go to a fishing village, we support them because we are part of the same community. So it would be great if there's a network for people to learn. Also, for tour companies to actually share and say, oh, I'm doing this CBT now, this is beautiful. Because if you go for exhibition, you know that the marketing reach is very limited. Tour operators have a power because
that we're running behind the schedules, but I think it's best for us to open up for the questions to the floor, maybe one or two questions. Would there be any question on the floor, please? Yes, Professor Yasu Ohe.
Thank you very much for very fruitful and yes, I learned a lot from your discussion this morning and since yesterday. And I'd like to make a little bit of a comment. First, policy issues and language issues and market. And finally, impact control issues, something related to the environmental aspect. And first, yes, government involvement is important, but from our experience of a lot of failure of this public sector involvement in past 20 years in rural tourism development in Japan, my opinion is the policy measure. When you make up a policy measure, you should look at a clear target. You should, when you give some subsidy to to make a viable economic activity, then you should set a goal within, for instance, 3 years. Now we have a program, a project, about 3-year project to make 500 viable rural tourism project in Japan, but it's very difficult. So if you are more involved in a project from public side, then people are more dependent on the public sector. So you should clear a target. That is important. And second is language issues. It's important as well. And we are always discussing about this issue because Japanese people are very notorious about speaking in English. And, but from our experience, language is, yes, it's okay to fluent, but it's not necessary conditions. You can learn from the experience. So it's not a necessary thing. So don't take it seriously, language issues. And another issue is market. I think we had a lot of failure in CBT project because they don't look at market at all. And so you should set a clear image of market. What market are you targeting at? And from our experience in Japan, and the CBT project or CBT activities are more and more oriented toward upmarket oriented now become. And it used to be a mass market oriented, but mass market tend to be exploited by their travel agency. So they ask you a huge amount of commissions. So I think what we should look at is upmarket. That is my suggestion. And finally, also in my country, some of the successful, I would say too much successful in CBT project. These cases now set regulations, like you said.
Just like the case of Bali.
Yes, to control their impact, negative impact on the environment and the heritage.
Yeah.
So probably you'll have such issues in the future. Yeah. So local regulation would be helpful in this aspect. So yes, you should also keep in mind this aspect. That is my comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your very valuable comments.
So networking.
Yeah.
Last comment on networking. Yes, it's wonderful you have this networking within ASEAN countries, but if possible, please add ASEAN Plus.
Yeah, so we're going to do the ASEAN Plus for you, okay? Japan is very welcome, though.
We can join. Any other country can join if you want. So please say ASEAN Plus. Thank you.
Okay, I wrote it down. ASEAN Community-Based Tourism Network Plus with Plus. Okay. Thank you for your recommendation, and I think we're running out of time. Please join me to give a big round of applause to the representative of the. I think. Are we okay with the? Can you keep it short, just for one minute, please? Thank you. The microphone is not working, so would there be any extra or additionals? Can you try it on, please?
รู้สึกดีใจมากที่ได้มาร่วมกับงานนี้ซึ่งถือว่าจะเป็นงานแรกของประเทศไทยแล้วก็เรามีกำลังใจในฐานะของตัวแทนเด็กสิ่งที่จะฝากไว้ก็คือนะครับหลายท่านก็เป็นห่วงเรื่องของรัฐบาลไม่หนุนแล้วเราจะเดินไปอย่างไรนี่คือข้อคิดสำคัญได้ฟังทุกท่านมีกระแสหรือว่ามีความคิดว่าถ้ารัฐบาลไม่หนุนเราถ้าไม่มีเงินเราก็เป็นตัวแทนชุมชนไม่ได้นะครับเมื่อกี้คุณนายบอกว่าท่านสวมหมวกหลายใบผมก็คงไม่แตกต่างจากท่านว่าในเรื่องของการดึงงบประมาณถ้าไม่มีตำแหน่งในเรื่องของทุนชุมชนถ้าเราจะร่วมระดมทุนคนในชุมชนก็ต้องเห็นภาพชัดเจนนะครับอันนี้ผมบอกว่าครั้งที่ 2ถ้าเรามีแผนงานชัดเจนจะไปจัดที่ไหนฝากเจ้าภาพหลักซึ่งเราก็ต้องมองว่างบประมาณจะเอามาจากไหน
Dasta.
แล้วก็ภูเก็ตดีใจมากที่ทุกท่านบอกว่ามาแล้วเจอเขตชุมชนท่องเที่ยวเนี่ยมีความน่าสนใจจากกระแสหลักนะจริงๆเราไม่ต้องสร้าง CBT ทุกพื้นที่ผมยังบอกอินโดว่าท่านมีของดีมาที่ภูเก็ตสักแห่งเอาไหมมาเป็นโชว์รูมของอินโดเพื่อจะให้อินเตอร์เนชั่นแนลคือ15 ล้านคนในภูเก็ตได้เห็นว่า10 กว่าประเทศอาเซียนเนี่ยเราเป็นเฟมิลี่เดียวกันฝากทุกภาคส่วนที่มีส่วนเกี่ยวข้องว่าครั้งที่ 2เราจะเดินกันอย่างไรไปประเทศไหนแล้วชุมชนของเราเนี่ยจะต้องเตรียมอะไรกันบ้างเพราะเราต้องเตรียมกันเนิ่นๆนะครับท่านอธิการบดีซึ่งภูเก็ตนะเราก็มีงบประมาณแต่มันก็มีขอบเขตเหมือนกันนะแล้วก็เรื่องรายได้ที่จะให้คนมามีส่วนร่วมที่ก็ต้องเป็นโจทย์สำคัญจะทำยังไงให้ยั่งยืนนะผมไม่คำถามแต่ก็ต้องเป็นฝากกับผู้มีส่วนเกี่ยวข้องทุกท่าน
Thank you. So I'm going to do a quick translations upon my short writing here. So as the representative of Phuket Community-Based Tourism Network, he would like to extend his thankfulness and gratitude to Phuket Ratchapat University and also to our PCIT as the host of this conference, and also his thankfulness extend to the representative of all the ASEAN members, and he also raised his concerns on the unstable or intermittent support from the central government and local governments. And he would like to follow up the second conference of this CBT network among the ASEAN countries. So all the important people who are sitting here on the floor and also on the open public, he would like to raise an issue of trying to get together, creating the network, and establish the second conference again. And I'm going to leave this leave message to Dasta, and also, well, we don't have the representative from the provincial office today, but the Phuket governor was here, the vice governor was also here, and you have here the very important chair here at Phuket Ratchapat University, our president. So I'm sure she's gonna put forward your concerns. Okay, and the last one that he mentioned is basically to invite all of you not to concern about the only limited number of 7 groups of the CBT in Phuket. Even we small in number, but we are better together. Just make sure that you are there at least one place or one destination at our local community, and you will be impressed with what we have there, what we have and available for you to enjoy. Is that correct? Yeah? Yep. So that will be very the end of our session, and please join me to give a big round of applause to all the representatives of the ASEAN community members. Thank you.
Thank you very much once again to Dr. Aratai for being our moderator, and to all of our representatives for the very informative discussion. I would like to invite all the representatives to please return to your seats. Thank you. We now have a very special performance to begin our closing ceremony from the students of the Department of Performing Arts, Phuket Ratchapat University. Thank you. Thank you very much to our beautiful performers once again. I would now like to invite Assistant Professor Dr. Arathai Krutwecho, the Acting Dean of Phuket College of International Tourism, Phuket Ratchapat University, our host, to please give a few closing remarks. Thank you.
Good afternoon again. Just before lunch, and I'm going to just deliver a very short closing speech by the Phuket College of International Tourism, Phuket Ratchapat University. And I got the permission from the president of our university to deliver the closing remarks by PCIT ourselves. Dear the president of Phuket Ratchapat University, Phuket Ratchapat University executive and lecturers, representative from ASEAN countries members, distinguished guests of PCBT 2017, all participants, and ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the host committees of the first international conference and exhibitions on community-based tourism in Phuket, PCBT 2017, I am greatly honored to deliver the closing speech for this outstanding event. I truly hope that all participants have found our 2 days conference and exhibition fruitful and memorable. As the project leader, I would like to extend our gratitude and thankfulness to our keynote speaker, Professor Yasil Ohe, Mr. Sean Panton, and all of our ASEAN representatives and delegates for their valuable views, expertise, and experiences. Our special thanks also go to Mr. Norapat Blotong, the governors of Phuket, the Phuket Provincial Office, and Phuket Ratchapat University for their fundings and continued support. Also, I would like to sincerely thank all the delegates and participants of the PCBT 2017 for their great attention to this conference, which have greatly made this conference possible and worthwhile. Finally, my special thanks goes to all my team who took on the superhero task in completing this conference. And I myself personally would like to say, hey, it's done today. The time is now opportune for me to officially close the PCBT 2017 conference and exhibition. We are already looking forward to continue the next conference in the following years. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arathai. So once again, on behalf of our host, the Phuket College of International Tourism, Phuket Ratchapat University, thank you all for attending and joining this conference and for all of the very informative speeches. I would now like to ask, I know everybody is very hungry. You must do one more thing for us before you eat. I would now like to ask our speakers, ASEAN representatives, community representatives, and our keynote speakers to please follow our staff downstairs to the exhibition. We will take one more group photo in front of the exhibition downstairs. Thank you very much. We will also have a small MOU signing ceremony downstairs, as well as a small gift exchange ceremony in front of the exhibition, after which I would like to invite everybody to lunch. Thank you once again.